A very good morning, everyone. Welcome again. So, we were discussing chapter number 3, that is our changing earth. Until now, what we have studied about the volcano, about the earthquakes, waterfall, and what we will study today. We will study today the features of river, sea waves, air, and the mushroom rocks. So, we'll start with the features of a river. What are the features of river? First is the waterfall, and as we have studied about the waterfall in the previous video, when the flow of the river it passes over the harder rock and the softer rock, the cut of the softer rock is the cut of the softer rock, it bends down due to the flow. Now the cut is no more there just because with the flow of the water, and it directly drains into the basin. And now we will study about the meanders. What are the meanders? The meanders are the river that enters the plain. What happened when the rivers it enters into the plain? It takes some twists and turns, and when it takes some twists and turns, it forms the large bends. It forms the large bends, and that large bends they are known as the meanders. Oxbow Lake, it is related to the meanders. As we know, the when the river it enters the plain, the twists and turns it takes, and it forms the large bends. That is known as the meanders. But sometime what happened? Due to the continuous erosion and the deposition of the meander, the loops of the meander it comes closer to closer. So what is an oxbow lake? It's normally it is called a U-shaped body, and the water formed when a wide render from the main stem of a river is cut off. As we have studied that the twists and turns of the river was there over the plain areas, and it forms the large bend. So sometimes what happen in the due course of times, the meander the meander loops it cuts off. The meander loop it cuts off from the river, and it forms the lake which is called the Oxbow Lake. As we can see in the picture, what is Oxbow Lake? The twist and turn is the meander, and the U-shaped cut, which is with the loops which is cut from the river, is called as the Oxbow Lakes. Floodplain. What is a floodplain? As we know, when the river overflow, as the river overflow its banks, the neighboring areas they feel flood because the water of the river it spreads over the neighboring area. And when the water it spreads over the neighboring area and the flood is there, the deposits layer of the fine soil, that means the deposit layers of the fine soil and the other materials, that is the sediments, they are along with the banks. As the floods are there, the flood deposits the layer of the fine soil and the other said material and the other sediments along the banks, and this leads to the formation of a flat fertile floodplain. And these this leads to, that means what leads to, when the river when the flood comes, the river overflows and it covers the neighboring area, and the deposit layer of the fine soil and the other material called sediments, it keep them along with the banks, and this lead to the formation of the flood plain. Now we study about the levees. What is the levees? These are the raised banks. The raised banks of the rivers, they are called the rivers. And as the river approaches the sea, what happened when the river it approaches the sea? As we have studied that every river it drains into the sea or the ocean. So when the river approaches the sea, the speed of the river it slows, it decreases automatically, and when it decreases it drains into when it decreases, it breaks up into a number of streams. So as the river when approaches the sea, that means when the river is in the way into to drain in the sea, the flow of the water decreases and it breaks up into the number of the streams which are called distributaries. Now we'll study about the delta. What is a delta? A delta is a landform. A landform that is created at the mouth of the river. So a delta is a landform that is created at the mouth of the river. and where the river flows, sometimes the river flows onto an ocean, sea, estuary, lake, reservoir, flat, arid area, or the another rivers. So a delta is a landform and that is created at the mouth of the rivers, and deltas are formed from the deposition of the sediments. So how the deltas are formed? The deltas are formed from the deposition of the sediment which are carried by the river as the flow leaves the mouth of the river. So the deltas are formed from the deposition of the sediment, the deposition which are carried by the river as the flow, when the flow leaves the mouth of the river, at there the deltas are formed. Here you can see the picture how the deltas they are formed. Now we'll study about the glaciers. So what are the glaciers? The glaciers they are also known as the rivers of the ice. The glaciers they are also known as the rivers of the ice. The accumulation of the snow that are formed in the areas where the amount of snow that falls exceeds the amount that melts. So glaciers वहाँ पर होते हैं. The glaciers are at the places where the amount of the snow the falls is more than the amount of the snow that melts. That means where the melting is slow and where the falling of the snow is more. In that regions the glaciers are formed. So glaciers they form the distinctive landform. If we'll see the glaciers, they form the distinct landforms. They look like a frozen river. They look like if you look at that, they looks like a frozen river which is moving very slowly over some land or over some surface. Now the exogenic forces, as we know what are exogenic forces, which occurs outside the earth's surface, and it how it affects the sea waves. As we know what are sea waves. So now today we will study the exogenic forces, how they affects the sea waves. So firstly is the sea caves. Sea caves, what is the sea cave? As you have seen in the sea, the rocks are there. So what happened with the continuous wave action of the sea? The waves they are passing in the sea. So sometimes that water, that the waves, they erodes the rocky faces on the seashore. They erode the rocky faces, and just because of the continuous flow of the waves, a hole occurs there. A hollow like caves they are formed in the these in the rocks, and they are called as the sea caves. Sometimes with the flow of the water, sometimes with the flow of the sea waves, with a continuous flow, a hole type, that means a hollow like caves they are formed on the a hollow caves they are formed in that rocks, they are called as the sea caves. And what are sea arcs? That sea, that hole, according to the time period as the waves they are moving, the continuously the water is flowing there, over a period of time that hole it becomes bigger and bigger, it becomes increased, it increased, and it leads to the sea arc. Then the stack. What are stacks? The stacks are formed when the part of a landform is eroded by the water action. How these stacks they are formed? Sometimes the erosion it breaks the roof and only walls are left. Sometimes due to the erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left. So these wall-like features, they are called the stacks. And now the last is sea beaches. How the sea beaches are formed? The sea waves it left behind some sediments. As we know, when the sea waves it is passing through, it left behind the sediments, and the sediments sometimes they are in the form of the fine sand, and that fine sand when collected at the places they form the sea beaches. Now the air, wind flowing over a long period create the different forms. When the wind it is flowing over a long period, it creates the different forms. How it creates the different form we'll study. The mushroom rocks. The mushroom rocks they are usually found in the deserts. Normally we can see the mushroom rocks in the deserts. So how this forms? Sometimes the wind blow at a high speed. It takes with it sand particles. When the wind it is blowing, it takes with it the sand particles. and that particles they are heavier and they remain close to the surface. They will not move apart as they are heavier, so they it remain close to the surface. And when the wind passes along the rocks, that sand particles it erode the portion of a rock and closer to the surface without affecting the upper portion. As we know how the mushroom rocks are formed, they're found in the desert areas. And when the wind blows, when the wind blows at the high speed, winds erode the lower section of the rock and more than the upper part. When the wind blows and it takes away the sand particles, and with that the wind erode the lower section of the rock and more big, and the wind passes through the lower section, it erodes higher than the upper section. So the rocks they have the narrower base. So now the rocks they formed as the narrower base, and at the top the wide top is the wider, but their base is the narrower. And when the wind blows, it lifts the transport and the sand from one place to another. So, what happened? How the mushroom rocks are formed? As the wind blows, it takes away the high particles, the sand particles with them. As the sand particles, they are heavier and they remain close to the surface. So, that particles it remain deposited at the that remain deposited at the lower section of the rock and more than the upper section. So, what happened that the particles it erode the portion of the rock closer to the surface. The portion which is closer to the surface, the sand particles it erodes that, and that affect less the upper section and more the lower section. And this action will gives the shape of a mushroom to the rock. So stay home, stay safe. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you.